Watching this special broadcast of the Buck Stops here, coming to you live from the ghats of Benaras, of Varanasi, the one place that the entire country is now talking about. Will it throw up a prime ministerial, the next prime minister? It already has a prime ministerial candidate. Will it throw up the next prime minister? Remember, from tonight, Buck Stops here is on the road. Well, tonight we're on a boat, but otherwise we're on the road to 2014. Every night we'll be broadcasting to you live from a different constituency, a different part of India. If you're tired of all those studio voices, same old in Delhi, well, for the next 2 months, you're going to hear voices from on the ground along with interviews with the key newsmakers. And as we said, tonight we're coming to you from Varanasi, where it's expected to be an Arvind Kejriwal versus Narendra Modi battle, but everybody here seems to believe that it's a foregone victory for Mr. Modi. Is that really the case? And also, why Benaras? Does it mean that Mr. Modi's brand of Moditva has welded his development agenda with soft Hindutva? To discuss this, among our voices from Benaras tonight, sitting with me here on this boat by the Rajghat, we have two Kapoors of Benaras. Gaurav Kapoor, who's of course known for organizing the Benaras Utsav, and we've also got Rohit Kapoor, who's of course one of the prominent local businessmen from here. We'll also be joined by key national politicians. Also, today on Chai Stop, we took a boat ride down the Ganga and we asked the people as we sailed by the ghats, is Kejriwal versus Modi not a big fight? Is it only a little token battle?
वाराणसी एक प्राचीन नगरी है और ये बाबा विश्वनाथ की नगरी है और वो बाबा सोमनाथ की नगरी से यहाँ आए हैं, तो हम लोग के लिए तो भाग्यशाली हैं ही हम लोग, क्योंकि वो हमारे साथ हैं। और जहाँ तक केजरीवाल की बात है तो इट्स ओनली अ टोकन फाइट, बिकॉज उनका कोई स्कोप नहीं है। इवन उनके केजरीवाल का ही क्या, कोई भी लड़ेगा तो उसकी जमानत जब्त हो जाएगी।
मैं बाबा विश्वनाथ के नगरी से बोल रहा हूँ। ये एक नगरी, एक सांस्कृतिक, एक पूरे वर्ल्ड का गुरु है। इस गुरु घराने से इनको जो सम्मान मिलेगा, वो सम्मान हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री को मिलेगा।
So as Buck Stops here hits the road to 2014 and we're broadcasting to you tonight from the ghats of Benaras, let's start straight with our special report tonight. Why did Narendra Modi choose Benaras? Will he still contest from Gujarat? The Congress today accused Mr. Modi of still looking for a safe seat, taunting him by saying that if there is a Modi wave, why was Mr. Modi contemplating contesting from 2 seats? But here in Benaras, most people we meet seem to think that Mr. Modi's victory is a foregone conclusion. What's the more interesting debate is why he chose Benaras. Does it represent in this ancient city a new kind of politics, a Moditva brand of politics that has successfully welded Modi's Vikas agenda with soft Hindutva? It's often been called the oldest living city in the world, one that Mark Twain so famously described to be older than history, older than tradition, older even than legend. And in this ancient past, the BJP is now seeking to script its new political future. In the land of the devout, most people we meet tell us that Narendra Modi will not need their prayers. Electoral victory, they argue, is almost certain. At the famous Banarsi Panwalas, in the maze-like back alleys of the city, or by the serene open expanse of the ghats, everywhere the refrain is the same. The next Prime Minister, they say excitedly, could soon be a Banarsi Babu. यहाँ पर जो मोदी जी अब चुनाव लड़ने आ रहे हैं, तो एक तरह से रिजल्ट क्या पहले से ही तय है?
99 पॉइंट आप 99 कर सकते हैं इसको।
99%?
999 पूरा कर लीजिएगा।
अच्छा,
परसेंट जो है तो हम लोग थोड़ा सा छोड़े हुए हैं।
अच्छा, क्यों छोड़े हुए हैं?
लड़ ले लोग बाकी जितने।
अच्छा, मतलब मजे के लिए छोड़ा हुआ?
मजे के लिए, चुटकुला है वो।
चुटकुला है।
But how does one read the very choice of Benaras for Narendra Modi? Is it about marrying the promise of good governance with a subliminal, soft Hindutva message? In the holy city, not everyone agrees with this thesis. They say even in the land of the religious, today roads matter much more.
धर्म का कोई वैल्यू अब बचा है चुनाव में?
धर्म की वैल्यू कुछ नहीं। धर्म अब तो ये नेता पैदा कर रहे थे। धर्म हमारे आप में नहीं है। हम लोग तो सभी के साथ बैठते उठते। बनारस में यही तो चीज है, नेता पैदा करते हैं। बनारस में यही तो चीज है कि कोई बैठ के कोई ऊंचा है, छोटा है, नीचा, ये नहीं देखते हैं।
संजय जी, मुझे ये बताएं कि आपने कहा कि मेन मुद्दा डेवलपमेंट है और हिंदुत्व तो अपनी जगह है। एक जमाना होता था, मैं बात कर रही हूँ, मतलब 1991, 1992, तब बात चलती थी कि भाई एक अयोध्या की बात चलती थी और काशी मथुरा की बात भी चलती थी। आज के जमाने में क्योंकि हम बनारस में हैं, ये काशी को लेकर और मंदिर मस्जिद को लेकर कोई मुद्दा है?
आज की युवा पीढ़ी इतनी जागरूक हो गई कि इन लोगों ने सभी चीज को छोड़ दिया। अब ये अपने को सोचते कि जो चीज है ओल्ड इज गोल्ड हो गई। अब आगे से जो विकास हो, ये पुराना हो गया, ये खत्म हो गई कहानी।
अच्छा,
अब ये कोई गवर्नमेंट पे आएगी तो इस कहानी को खोल नहीं सकती।
तो ये डेड इशू हो
गया।
In the by-lanes of Benaras a day after Holi, it is political color that is exploding here on the streets. The debate, of course, is not whether Modi will win. His victory seems a given. The debate is what the choice of Benaras as a seat represents. But most people that we are meeting here say that even though Benaras is the cradle of Hindu faith, it is development, not Hindutva, that is going to take center stage in this election. Others say Hindutva is a given. It's Benaras's excitement about whether Modi can do what he did in Gujarat for Benaras that really matters to the people here.
But at the Benaras Hindu University, scholars and political scientists are more divided. They say the choice of Benaras is no coincidence. In choosing Benaras, they say Narendra Modi has strategically welded the primordial with the political, the mystical with the mathematics of the region.
Benaras represents a primordialism, Benaras represents a mysticism, Benaras represents culture. Benaras is a message for whole India. Therefore, they are trying to cultivate on that position.
Do you believe that there is any Hindutva element at all in this choice?
Benaras has been representing that soft Hinduism over the years.
Explain.
For example, the identity politics over the years is coming back to the genealogy of the cities and history and cultures, and Benaras presents that.
Do you believe when you say soft Hinduism?
Is to just knit the otherwise fragmented communities of Hinduism.
So he is using soft Hinduism to knit all the communities, all the castes together.
Of Hinduism.
But he says he's fighting on development.
He's for Muslims, for roads, gender plan, for India. For Hindi belt, he's working over the soft Hinduism. For rest of India, other than Hindu belt, he's working on this plank of development.
So he's trying to marry development with soft Hinduism.
That is the plank. That is why he has chosen this place.
The Hindutva strand, say social scientists here, is woven into the BJP's political tapestry, but it is certainly not the dominant design like it once used to be in the 90s.
When you say soft Hindutva, what do you mean?
Soft Hindutva has been, some kind of projection on the part of the BJP that they are going to accommodate the concerns of the cultural minorities across the country, so that it increases the Modi's acceptability, the kind of acceptability Atal Bihari Vajpayee had, such kind of, which Advani could never enjoy.
Where does all this excitement and anticipation around a potential Prime Minister leave his principal challenger Arvind Kejriwal? On the streets, we bump into a young engineer who used to be a passionate Aam Aadmi supporter. Today, as Kejriwal heads into his hometown, he says he's confused about which way to go.
What will you do? Someone who used to support Arvind Kejriwal, if Mr. Kejriwal announces on Sunday that he is going to contest against Modi, will you still stay with Arvind?
Now Arvind has to go prove himself again. I mean, I would ask him, I would go for the manifesto, I would go for the promises, but let me tell you, once a glass is shattered, you cannot join it back. You know, the same goes with the trust. I had trust on Kejriwal, he broke it. Now it has to take some time. He has to work, show his, he has to run a government, he has to show that he can still run a government, and then probably next time, maybe I can think, okay, yeah, why not him?
At the AAP party office in Benaras, Kejriwal's supporters are also preparing for his big announcement. But in the cities said to be home to Lord Shiva, like the destroyer, the BJP believes, at least here, it will crush the competition. In Varanasi, with Manoj Thakur, Manu Nair, Ruby Dhingra, Noman Siddiqui, this is Barkha Dutt for NDTV.
All right, so interesting perspectives there from the scholars at the Benaras Hindu University, some of whom believe that we are seeing a new kind of politics in this ancient city of Benaras, an ancient city that could pave the way for the BJP's political future, a new kind of politics that could be called Moditva, that blends, that welds the political with the primordial, that welds a soft Hindutva with Modi's core agenda of development. What does the choice of Benaras represent, and will Narendra Modi contest from one seat or two? Will it be just a token battle between him and Kejriwal, were Kejriwal to take on Modi? Let's introduce our guest tonight. We're joined by senior leader of the BJP, Ravi Shankar Prasad. We're also joined by Pawan Verma, who's of course with the Janata Dal United, but he's also somebody who hails from Benaras. And here with me by the ghats at Rajghat in Benaras, we have Gaurav Kapoor and Rohit Kapoor. Ravi Shankar Prasad, let me start by asking you, what does Benaras represent, and how do you respond to the question raised by the Congress today that if indeed there is a Modi wave, and I can say to you that most people I'm meeting in Benaras do believe that Mr. Modi will sweep this region, but if there is a Modi wave, why is he looking at a second seat in Gujarat? What does Benaras represent, and why not only Benaras? Ravi Shankar Prasad.
First of all, Barkha, I must clarify that the coming election is going to be fought only and only upon the issue of governance, the way the UPA has mismanaged India, the issue of price rise, unemployment, is stinking, shameful corruption, and the sense of insecurity of India, which is the legacy of Manmohan Singh, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. As far as the specific choice of Kashi is concerned, let me tell you, there have been an overpowering demand for Modi to contest from many states. You know, from Bihar there were offer of 10 seats. In UP there was offer. In Madhya Pradesh there was offer. But here, as far as Kashi is concerned, it was chosen for a very strategic purpose, namely Uttar Pradesh has 80 seats. There was a great pressure of the workers of the people, and Kashi was chosen specifically because in eastern UP it will give a message, nay, in the entire Uttar Pradesh and also in adjoining Bihar. Okay. It is a political message. And yes, I must clarify, Kashi by its very name and tradition will have those kind of identity. But the great intellectuals of BHU who are trying to discover something of the primordial and the governance issue, I would say is far-fetched. Yeah. Barkha, don't forget, when Mr. Rahul Gandhi goes to Kashi, he too goes to Kashi Vishwanath and offers Abhishek, which we rarely see Mr. Rahul Gandhi going elsewhere. When I go to Kashi, I surely love to go to Kashi Vishwanath. Why not? I'm a proud Hindu that way, where Lord Kashi Vishwanath is there, where Sankat Mochan is there. But having, I don't know whether you will wish to visit or not, but that is your call. Most people do visit. But having said that, to attribute motive to Modi ji...
Of course, I've visited many times as well, Ravi ji. I have visited also many times on every trip to Benaras. But may I ask you, you say the scholars are looking for meaning where none exists. Would it be fair to say that Moditva, I use the word Moditva and not Hindutva, would you say Moditva represents 80% development with some subliminal message of Hindutva or soft Hindutva? Or has Hindutva gone away from the BJP's messaging altogether?
But I don't know how to reply to your query. Earlier, Mr. Modi was 99.9% Hindutva and 0% governance or development. Now I see a kind of a metamorphosis. Let me tell you, as far as the BJP's issue of cultural nationalism is concerned, of our strong identity of India is concerned, those are too well known. But if you want to say, are you going to rake up Ram Janmabhoomi issue? Are you going to rake up Kashi Vishwanath? Those are not election issue at all. Why you are forcing a debate on that which is not there? We have repeatedly said they are not the election issue, and they are not. The issue is unemployment. The issue is development. The issue is lack of growth of India. The issue is unemployment. These are issues of 2014, which Mr. Modi is going to articulate on his pristine record of good governance, decisive leadership and integrity.
Okay, and actually we're not even trying, Raviji, to force a debate here. What we're trying to understand is the symbolic value of Benaras. And Pavan Verma, Ravi Shankar Prasad says this is actually, among other reasons, arithmetic as well. This could have a ripple effect on Eastern UP, on the region of Purvanchal. BJP has to win substantively in UP and Bihar for it to achieve its national ambitions. So, Pavan Verma, as somebody who knows Benaras well, what does Mr. Modi standing from here represent to you? Would you concede that it's a political masterstroke?
No, I don't think it's a political masterstroke. It's a strategic choice. A party has a right to make that choice. Barkha, certainly it's a search for a safe seat. 3 sitting MLAs from this region are BJP.
Why safe seat? Why safe seat?
Well,
Why
I'm
do you
coming
say
to that
safe
answer.
seat? In fact, Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi won by only 17,000 votes last time. Yes, it has been a BJP bastion. But are you really suggesting that had Mr. Modi fought from elsewhere, he wouldn't have won?
I am, Barkha, let me just complete my argument. I will take just 2-3 minutes. I am saying it's a search for a safe seat. I am not saying it is necessarily a safe seat. The fact of the matter, Barkha, is this country is crying out, certainly, as Mr. Prasad says, for governance. The question the nation wants to ask Mr. Modi today is, does he stand for governance? Now, because the governance that he claims to represent has serious questions to be asked, for which Mr. Modi is never available. UP is 4 times the size of Gujarat. To govern Gujarat, and that too on very questionable indices, is not a great proof of governance.
Okay, we'll get into that.
To know why it is governance. Therefore, coming back to your question.
Yes.
Therefore, governance is under a huge question mark where Mr. Modi is concerned, apart from his own claims to that effect. Now, if that is not the case, that is guaranteed, I think there is a seminal message, because Kashi has been one of our most ancient cities. It is the city where we have the Vishnath Ji ka Mandir. It is a city which, in a sense, is perhaps the oldest Hindu city. Perhaps Mr. Modi, mistakenly perhaps, is trying to convey a message that by standing from Kashi, he is again sort of, in a sense, playing what you called the soft Hindutva role. Let me say to you, the BJP has never abandoned its twin policies, basically of pursuing a polarization of vote through Hindutva, but giving it the mask of governance. I think in a sense, Varanasi represents that mix.
Yes. Okay, so 2 very different perspectives. We'll of course take it back to Ravi Shankar Prasad, who thinks this is all nonsense. It's the media looking for theories where none exist. It's the opposition creating phantom theories. Let me just get 2 voices from here at the Rajghat in Benaras. Let me start with you, Rohit. Most people I have been meeting, and one has to say this, the overwhelming number of people in terms of numerical majority seem to be backing Mr. Modi. They're also saying that they believe Vikas is the mudda. They're saying Dharm apni jagah hai, lekin sadke theek kariye. What is the main issue for you, and who are you backing?
Look, this election will stand for development.
Yeah.
Let us be very clear on that.
Okay.
What Mr. Verma was telling, I will not agree to that.
Okay.
Mr. Modi could have selected a seat of Lucknow. That was a very safe seat for BJP again.
Yeah.
They have a sitting MP there, and Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee was also there.
Yes.
If Hindutva was the only agenda, he could have gone to Ayodhya or Faizabad.
Yes.
But he has very wisely considered Varanasi because of his tragedy. Again,
so the strategies of Purvanchal.
Yeah, Purvanchal, not only Purvanchal, it is again what Mr.
The
Ravi
ripple effect in Bihar, in adjoining
MP
states,
and everything will be there.
Yes.
Now, BJP is holding just one seat here in Varanasi. Next, Purvanchal, there is no seat for BJP.
Yes.
So, very wisely, they have taken this decision. And again, what your reporter was telling, that metamorphosis was going on. You know, might be Mr. Modi started with the agenda of Hindutva in Gujarat. But now, when he sees the whole of India, he very wisely knows that I have to change.
And you're backing and you want Mr. Modi to win?
No, there should be a good candidate from here. It is not a question of Mr. Modi. Congress is saying that we are coming up with this agenda. Congress was there for 10 years to prove themselves. Now that time has gone. Now people are looking after Modi. That is a big hope for them.
Let's bring your perspective in before we take it back to the two political leaders. Also, as somebody who's who's from here, what is the central issue? Do you believe there's any real fight between Mr. Kejriwal and Mr. Modi? You heard two completely diametrically opposite perspectives from Pawan Verma and Ravi Shankar Prasad. Where do you weigh in?
Well, I mean, firstly, if I can tell Mr. Prasad, I'm nobody to correct him, but Rahul Gandhi, when he came last time, he went to Sant Ravidas Mandir. This time he came to Kashi Vishwanath Mandir.
But I think Ravi Shankar Prasad was trying to make the point
I
that the
understand
Congress
what he
does not come under the same scrutiny.
I understand
so why does
what
the
he
BJP?
was trying to make.
Yeah.
I understand what he was trying to make. But the fact of the matter is that when Mr. Modi decides to contest from here, it is just simply 2 or 3 messages, nothing else. One is that Hindutva is an agenda for them. You can call it soft, somebody can call it hard. But Hindutva is a central agenda.
But where is he talking about that even in his speeches?
He doesn't need to. The symbol.
On his 2 trips to Benaras, he's spoken about cleaning up the Ganga.
Varanasi is a symbol of Hinduism. You can call it soft Hinduism, you can call it whatever.
Okay.
Secondly, the BJP in entire eastern UP is defunct. They do not have even a ground leader that can come up and contest elections. They mainly chopper in people here, like they've choppered in Mr. Murli Manohar Joshi, who was possibly the worst MP that India has ever seen. I am very happy that at least BJP has taken a wise decision and removed Mr. Joshi. Thirdly, I do believe that, you know, the Messiah of development can mask, you know, say whatever, but the fact remains that he is an RSS.
So you believe there is a Hindutva message there. I'm going to take that to Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad in just a second. But Rohit, you totally disagree. This is 2 completely different perspectives from Benaras.
Totally,
You're saying it's not about that at all.
No. You have interviewed a lot of people.
Today.
Did anybody say that it is a Hindutva or we
Actually,
are looking
one man
forward
has said to me, he said, "Ye purana gana hai. Ye gana aajkal nahi
It has become an old song कि अब जो है Mandal Kamandal is over now. मतलब and 2002 what people talk about Modi. Now, long time has passed away. Muslims, you talk about Muslims. We interact with a lot of Muslim customers in Surat and all. They are very happy there. And this message is coming down to Benaras also. I have discussed with some of the Muslim friends and all. They say we want development. Nobody is interested in all this.
Okay, can I just take this back to Ravi Shankar Prasad and Pawan Verma? Ravi Shankar Prasad, on the other side, there are at least a differing perspective coming that you cannot take away the symbol of Kashi as a cradle, as it were, of Hinduism, that the choice of seat could not have been a coincidence. But you have said what you had to on that. Let me ask you, why will Mr. Modi then potentially also contest from Gujarat? Why 2 seats?
Now, first of all, let me clarify. The distinguished friend present on the ghat with you in Kashi have been too harsh against Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi. I think to the best of our information, he has represented well. Yes, Narendra Modi is contesting from there. I think one point, Barkha, you are moving in the entire great city of Kashi. You have seen the enthusiasm and overpowering response of the people as to how enthused they are upon the declaration of Narendra Modi as their candidate. I think that is the message. Instead of a garbled, prejudice, politically motivated assessment being given by the opponents of BJP that we are trying to shift back the whole debate 20 years ago, which are not being talked about, it is their concern. They are trying to divert the agenda. But Modi ji's message to the people of Kashi have been appreciated very clearly as to why they want him with such a great enthusiasm, which you have noticed. This election, Barkha, what is this election is about? As I said, and this is a very important thing I would like to highlight, there is a very interesting debate going in the country. We are insisting upon development, on unemployment, on price rise, on stinking shameful corruption. Rahul Gandhi and the Pawan Verma and the likes and the other parties are again drawing back to issues which are issues of the past. But it is not ringing any kind of acceptability with the people. India of 2014 is not the India of 90s. That's what the repeated message is coming.
Before I take Pawan Verma, Ravi ji, you didn't answer my question about why another seat, why 2 seats? If that happens, it's not official.
Yes, let me explain very clearly. So many leaders have contested 2 seats. Today, Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav is contesting from Azamgarh to save his bastion. Indira Gandhi has contested. This question was never asked. Barkha, I have been very honest to you. Upon the pressure of cadre, this kind of strategic move has been there. Gujarat obviously is his place. In Gujarat, as I know, out of 20 plus seats, there are requests from 18 seats for Modi to contest. The party will take a call. But as far as Modi ji's movement to Kashi and the attachment and the enthusiasm it has generated, let me tell you, and one thing more I tell you, if there is a plan of Ganga cleaning, Ganga is a national heritage. You cannot equate it with any kind of a communal overtone. I'm sorry. When Rajiv Gandhi initiated the project, he didn't even talk about it.
Ravi ji, Mr. Prasad, I was doing the opposite. I was actually saying that Mr. Modi's speeches in Benaras have focused on issues like cleaning up the Ganga. So I wanted to put that to Pawan Verma.
In fact, Barkha, if you can tell me, let me just tell you, if left to myself, cleaning of Yamuna, cleaning of Ganga should be the topmost priority, fair, transparent delivery by our government. They are the needs of the country. For the entire country. Therefore, the whole debate, the whole symbolism has changed.
Will Mr. Modi also contest from Gujarat? Or will he only contest from Benaras?
Well, I know for sure that Gujarat unit has requested. The party's topmost body will take a call on that. But when Mr. Modi is moving towards Kashi, it is a very important movement with due respect to the sentiment of the people, of the region. And let me tell you, the movement is not for Eastern UP. This kind of stress with the great culture of Kashi. And Barkha, by the way, don't forget Kabir Das. Don't forget Munshi Prem Chand. The great Kashi Parampara has many shades. And when Mr. Modi is going there, he's taking the impression of all the shades and juxtaposing with the shade of India with the quest of good governance, delivery, and giving India its due place. That is the message of 2014.
Okay.
And therefore, Mr. Modi is so popular.
Pawan Verma, I want to bring you in here as somebody who's also, yes, Pawan, as somebody who's also from Benaras. Do you believe that Ravi Shankar Prasad has a very important point when he says that it is Mr. Modi being from here that has made the debate again about soft Hindutva versus development? But when Rahul Gandhi goes to Kashi Vishwanath, when Rahul Gandhi goes to other temples or places of worship, the media does not deconstruct it in the same way, that there is a double speak. And that since you are from Benaras, faith does permeate every part of life. So how can you say just the choice of Kashi represents some sort of dualism as you have, Pawan?
You know, Kashi represents, as of now, and mostly in the past, a secular culture, Barkha. There are Muslim weavers who work in the sari industry, in the Banarasi sari, who work along with other faiths. But I'm afraid the poor Ganga is going to be polluted by this kind of partisan sectarian politics. And let me explain why to you.
But where is the evidence of the sectarianism? You have to give it evidence of the sectarianism in this campaign.
No, first of all, when Mr. Prasad says that governance is the agenda, I want to ask him 2 questions only. In July 2013, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat of the RSS says that Hindutva is the only solution for India. A month later, Mr. Singhal, president of the VHP, says Hinduism is the only force that can make India a #1 power. There is no contradiction from the BJP and certainly not from its supreme leader. Then in Muzaffarnagar, 2 BJP legislators who are indicted for inciting communalism are felicitated on stage with the supreme leader Mr. Modi present. Would Mr. Vajpayee ever do this? The question I'm saying is that this whole facade, that governance is the agenda, is actually a 2-pronged goal to push Hindutva for electoral advantage and to do it better by giving governance as its mask. Therefore, I say to you, it will be very unfortunate if Varanasi, Kashi, Benaras becomes a hotbed of any form of polarization of the electorate on the grounds of religion.
Before I take that to, okay, 1 minute, Pavan, 1 minute, because we must also hear from the people here. Rohit, what do you think? You're listening to both Pavan Verma and Ravi Shankar Prasad. Pavan Verma says there's a dualism in the BJP's approach. Ki, bhai, Hindutva to hai. Pavan Verma, according to Pavan Verma, Hindutva is there. It's subliminally there. Do you believe that there's any element of Hindutva in the BJP campaign?
No. Presently, Benaras is looking for a good candidate. That's it. Very simple.
What do you think of Kejriwal?
Kejriwal, he has not proved himself. He was given the seat. We have participated in Anna's movement also in Benaras, and a lot of normal public has participated. But you know the result, what it happened. Now, Kejriwal was given the opportunity to prove himself in Delhi. He was either opportunistic or over-ambitious, that he left the chair and now he's trying to cover whole India. He should have firstly proved there, and then he could have spread himself.
What do you think? Is the Kejriwal-Modi battle to be taken seriously, Gaurav?
Well, I don't think Mr. Kejriwal will have any effect at all here. If and when Congress does announce a strong local candidate, which they have, Mr. Ajay Rai, I think he will do a spectacular job.
Why do you say that? The Congress hasn't won this seat in years.
Well, it did in 2004. Rajesh Mishra did win the seat. He was a Congress candidate. And then, as usual, because BJP didn't have, even though they do have actually some very good leaders, some of them are friends of mine, but for some reason they're just never promoted. What this place needs, I actually agree with Mr. Verma, Pavan uncle, to me, that if you say in this election campaign there is no sign of Hinduism, I completely disagree. If on the stage those two Muzaffarnagar MLAs are facilitated, that is signal number one. Signal number two actually is, this is the biggest symbol. If Mr. Modi comes to contest in Varanasi, now that he is, this is a Hindu symbol that they are giving out.
But then anyone who contests from here should be indulging in Hinduism. What does that mean?
But they don't, you see. He doesn't, if say, I'll give you an example. If Rahul Gandhi were to contest from here,
you wouldn't then say he's playing the politics of Hindutva, would you?
But he's never been allegedly chief minister of a state which allegedly had riots.
Okay, let me take that right away to Ravi Shankar Prasad. Ravi Shankar Prasad, the concern over the two accused in the Muzaffarnagar riots. This is what is bringing the criticism that there is a politics of polarization that is still defining the BJP campaign subliminally, if not overtly.
Barka, first of all, see, as to how, I'm sorry to say, he's a good friend of mine, Pavan Verma is deliberately trying to communalize this debate. And I'm saying with full sense of responsibility. The kind of issues he's raising, what I am saying, how people are responding with great enthusiasm is completely bypassing him. And today I don't want to make this debate different, but I'll have to say in response to, his leader Nitish Kumar has no problem with Narendra Modi in 2002. He sees great virtues in him as a future big leader awaiting a big role in Delhi. And thereafter, suddenly, one fine morning, because of his own prime ministerial ambition, he decides to break away a 17-year-old alliance for which he has to going to pay a very heavy price whenever elections are held. Barkha, let's leave it there. I know these issues, as far as Som part is concerned, Mr. Modi was not present. They came on the stage earlier. Is it not a fact that the High Court Advisory Board chose to completely trash those charges? Is it a fact or not? I'm asking a question. And let me ask you, the way Mulayam Singh and Akhilesh Yadav government sought to completely bail out people involved, leaders of one community, is also too well evident. Why you are debating all this? I know in desperation these issues will be raised.
I agree with you. Mr. Yadav's government has come under intense criticism. But should the BJP be giving tickets to the riots accused? Why does the BJP have to be, like the Samajwadi Party? Of course, the primary responsibility is Akhilesh Yadav's.
Barkha, I am again telling you, as far as the ticket giving or not being given is concerned, is a question to be decided by the party. But this is a fact that so many are talking about. The advisory board of the High Court in the detention order consisting of eminent judges of Allahabad High Court quashed the charges as devoid of substance. That's also a fact. Let's not go into that. Again, I am coming. The problem is, and let me tell you with all sense of responsibility, the rising popularity of Narendra Modi, today of which you are an eyewitness, is unnerving the opponents. From Rahul Gandhi to Pavan Verma to Mulayam Singh to Akhilesh Yadav to Nitish Kumar. They don't getting any response to that as to how to respond to this almost kind of a wave-like situation in favor of Mr. Modi. Therefore, again revert back. Again bring these issues. The people want answers on unemployment, on price rise, on stinking corruption. They want to divert. But let me tell you, people are not going to be taken in by this at all.
All right, last comment from Pavan Verma and then we have to start ending. Yes, Pavan.
No, Barkha, I just want to say, the issues that Mr. Prasad raises, first to the questions that were asked pointedly, he says don't go to the past. We are not going to the past, we are going to the present. This happened only recently. It happened after the anointment of Mr. Modi as the prime ministerial candidate in his own presence. How can we disregard this? We are not raking up a past.
He was not present. Pavan, do your homework well. He was not present. I don't interrupt.
What is happening
Pavan, be correct on facts. Mr. Modi was not present on the stage. Yes, be correct yourself.
Sir, was he or was he not on the stage when two legislators?
No, he was not.
Let me just come to the last
Mr. Modi was not on the stage.
Let me just say.
Yes.
All right, we can go back to those facts if you do not agree. Now the questions Mr. Prasad raised, unemployment, better governance. I want to ask, and I ask this with all seriousness and to use Mr. Prasad's phrase of complete responsibility. What is the track record of Gujarat in these areas? You see, the problem, Barkha, is that the plank of governance is being projected by a formidable publicity machine with no debate, no interrogation, no discussion on any of the claims being made. That is the serious issue.
I have to start ending, so I'll ask Ravi Shankar Prasad very briefly. Mr. Prasad, Mr. Modi gave an interview, I think to Reuters, if I'm not wrong, where he did describe himself as a Hindu nationalist.
Sometimes in the ancient past.
How do you explain that phrase, Mr. Prasad?
Yes, what did he ask him? Are you a Hindu? He said, I am a Hindu. He said, are you a nationalist? Yes, I am a nationalist. Yes. What is wrong with that? Barkha, I am also a Hindu, if you ask me a question. Am I a nationalist? I am also a nationalist. But Barkha, for heaven's sake, don't try to explain and understand the issues of 2014 by a reference to a Reuters. See what the people are feeling. And let me tell you, it is the election of India of 2014, not of Gujarat. Gujarat elections have held thrice. The people have again elected Mr. Modi with massive majority. Congress party lost heavily. And by the way, Pavan, for a kind information, so many channels and respectable magazines have given him the best chief minister for 5-6 terms in a row, with all homework and with all surveys and all analysis, for a kind information. But it is always bringing Gujarat. The elections of India, Barkha, I hope you all understand that.
Ravi Shankar ji, the facts can speak. Let's have a debate. Are you open to a debate?
That debate has happened, Pavan. You have lost badly. Let us debate about India.
It needs to happen, sir.
And by the way, I am willing to debate about Bihar also with you now.
Why not let
Pavan Verma and Ravi Shankar Prasad, our two friends from Bihar. Thank you so much for joining us on this special episode of The Buck Stops Here, coming to you live from the banks of Benaras. I'm going to ask our two friends here for quick last words as we say thank you to both Pavan Verma and Ravi Shankar Prasad. Gaurav, to you first. This sense that Mr. Modi might contest 2 seats, you heard what Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad said. Do you think that will disappoint the people here if he also contests in Gujarat?
I'm absolutely sure it will disappoint the people, because then the question straight away arises, will he leave Benaras?
That's a very important question, isn't it? Rohit,
I think he will contest from 2 seats, and he's not going to quit from Benaras.
But isn't there a lot of anticipation here? Isn't there a lot of anticipation here that Benaras may have a prime minister, and then let's say Mr. Modi wins, whether as member of parliament or as the prime minister, we don't know. But whatever he wins, if he leaves Benaras now,
people here are very optimistic. We had Congress representatives here.
But you would want him to choose Benaras and not Gujarat.
I think people are more emotional, sorry to cut in, but I think people are more emotional in the city of Varanasi, and sometimes their emotion does not let them see the true picture.
All right.
But before ending, I like to add, we are waiting for the Congress candidate, which hopefully they will be announced.
Show its hand, literally.
No, might be some local person. One person is here, Mr. Ajay Rai, who has been working on ground.
So you mean there could be a twist and turn in this election?
He can give a good contest to Mr. Modi.
So twist and turns in this election. Gaurav Kapoor, Rohit Kapoor, thanks for joining us.